Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Anthony Pennant. For those who do not know, for those who know, it's just great to see you again. I'm here from my office this week, this month, giving you the first legislative video update for the year of 2020. I'll make this kind of short because I want to make sure that you are hearing everything that we are going to be talking about today, and I want to make sure that you pay attention fully because it's really important, some stuff that I'm going to drop for you all today. The first one is I just want to kind of revisit briefly about some of our victories last year. Last year legislatively was very active, and I was very happy about some of the things that we were able to accomplish. One of the things that we were able to do was reciprocity. Senate Bill 5054 that was passed and signed by the governor, and right now is in rulemaking, as they call. So the Department of Health, DOH, right now is drafting up rules for and guidelines for therapists, MFTs that are coming that come from other states, and trying to figure out what the appropriate guidelines based on our Washington state's specificities around licensure hours and supervision versus other states, and to see if we can bridge that gap. Once that is done, then we will have a full list of states and the guidelines that are applicable for reciprocity, meaning that you are licensed in another state and you can bring your license into this state and be awarded right away instead of going through the whole credentialing process of having your hours checked as if you've never been licensed before. Right now there are major states that are around Washington state that have been looked at. Right now I believe we have Oregon is in place, Montana was in place, California is in place. We do not have anything from Idaho because Idaho has a shorter amount of experience needed, so that's going to take some time to look at. We have Wyoming, I think, that's also in place, but we have a lot of good places and states that are around the Pacific Northwest and a little more, like obviously the West, like California, that allow for some good guidelines to be done. That's great. Another victory that we had legislatively this year was we were able to, I think, as a whole mental health field, to be able to be recognized in our role in being able to treat substance abuse, which is really huge. I know as a MFT, we see some clients that may have some substance abuse issues, and that often involves us being able to bring in their families and loved ones and being able to navigate any issues of codependency or any family support systems that will be able to help and support sobriety. So this is really a legislative victory that I was very happy, sort of unexpected, but it's great that it actually is there. Now to fast forward to a little bit of what's happening this year, a big announcement on January 28th, Tuesday, January 28th in Olympia, WAMF, Washington Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, will be having their Day on the Hill. This will be all to us. We are not co-sponsoring this with any other mental health organizations, so it's all about MFTs being seen and heard that day. I would encourage you, please, to click on the link that you see on the video and also in the newsletter to register as soon as possible. Based on your registration, we're able to set up a legislator that is attached to both your residential address and your practice address. If those are different, that will secure us to have some meetings to be able to be face-to-face. This year, going into the legislative session, there are only 60 days that they will actually be in session, as opposed to the normal, longer 105 days. That means that we have a shorter amount of time, a shorter window to be able to really impress upon some of the lawmakers and the policymakers about who we are, why MFTs are needed, and what specialties that we actually do. We really want to, this legislative year, have standing meetings with some of the legislators twice a month to be able to let them know why MFTs are absolutely needed in the healthcare system, and broadly as they start to wrestle with integrated healthcare, which will be making its way into Washington State. We want them to know why MFT should be a part of integrated healthcare, why it's important for us, what we do, why we do what we do, and some of the outcomes about overall what our treatment is able to produce. These are really important things, but it really starts off with January 28th, 9 o'clock in the morning at Olympia. Make sure that you register. We have a whole day. It's going to give you a kind of a quick agenda, what it looks like. So 9 o'clock, 9:30, we have an arrival. between 9 and 9:30 and 10 o'clock. We're going to meet with our legislative, our lobbyist, Amber. Then from 10 to 11, we have a tour of the actual whole building. It's actually really cool. They did that last year. I'm looking forward to doing it again because there's just so many things to see, I think, in our state capitol. I mean, it's just really nice to see. It technically belongs to us. It's where the population of Washington and our taxes funded. So it's nice to be able to see all three branches represented in such glorious fashions in their buildings. We're going to have lunch that's provided 11 to 11:30 for us. Then 11:30 to 12, we're going to have a nice presentation from Senator Orban, who was the recipient of our Advocacy Award last year. Senator Orban is really looking forward to having MFTs be out there. He had asked about us earlier before the legislative season had closed last year. So he's really anticipating that he wants us to be there, and it would be nice if we could have a show of force to let him know that we really appreciate some of the work that he did regarding the reciprocity bill, but just to also know that he's asking about us and we should represent. Then we have between 12 and 3 o'clock, we have individual meetings with lawmakers that are driven based on who's going to be there. So that's why it's really important for you all to register with that link as soon as possible so that we can set up the appropriate meetings with the lawmakers to book their time and make sure that they understand who we are, where we are, what we do. It's really, really important. And that part can't be done unless you are actually there and registered to be there. I also want to say that if you cannot necessarily make any of the beginning of the day, you are welcome to get there when you can. You will be able to interface with us either via email, via tweet, maybe even via phone and text if that makes it easier for you. But we want you to be there. I want you to be there. I'm looking forward to really just having a good amount of people there from WAMF. And then from 3 to 4 we have a wrap up of the Day on the Hill. But just understand this is our big legislative presence that we want to sit in on Olympia so that people know who we are. And of course, I know that if you can't make it, because everyone has different complications on their schedules or availabilities, but if you cannot make it, please look forward to having different times and different days in the coming months. With that being said, I also want to talk a little bit about some of the activity that we're planning for the east side of the state, Spokane. So I know that it is kind of difficult to get over here to Olympia for those who are on the east side of the state or even the central parts of the state like Wenatchee. However, what we will be doing in the next coming months, specifically in March, you'll hear probably the date that's being set up in our February video update, but in March we will be out in Spokane, myself and either Amber Lewis via person or via video to give you all a lunch and learn around some of the legislative updates that we're doing because it's really important for us to be able to connect with all MFTs around the state. The sense of community that we really want to build is really important. I'm really excited to get back out there and to connect with some of the students and other professionals. And that includes also for people that are in Bellingham and down by Vancouver. We're really going to try to make sure that we can cater and hold some space to be able to talk to everyone from the state and that you are well informed about what we are doing legislatively for all of our members and why WAMP is such a great organization to be a part of. Building community, making sure we have a strong sense of professional identity, and all the things along that come with being able to have resources with such a beautiful organization like itself, having beautiful members. So that's our update for this month. I would again encourage you, please, if you can, when you can, right away, after you hear this video, during this video, even if you have to pause it, make sure that you register for our Day on the Hill. It is really important that I see you there. If you have any questions, you know that you can always email us at wamf@wamf.org. You can tweet us. We'll try to get back in touch with you within 24 hours, probably quicker because we're trying to be really responsive and making sure that we get this all set up. But again, Tuesday, January 28th, 9 to 4 o'clock, Day on the Hill. I can't wait to see all of you, and it'll be great. Just one side note, Please understand that as a part of Day on the Hill, because we're going to the Capitol, that a dress code is required. I know I would love to be able to go on something like this, like sweaters, jeans, and a t-shirt. However, we are going on representatives and we want to make sure that we look our best. So that means we need to be in business dress casual. So that means the best is to make sure that we have business attire. I will be wearing a suit. I bought a new shirt and a new tie that I can't wait to debut. You'll be able to see it also in some of the pictures if you don't happen to be there that day, but make sure that you dress appropriately. If you have any questions, again, wamp@wamp.org, tweet us, Facebook us, email us if you have any questions, and don't forget to register for the event. I'm looking forward to seeing you on January, and if you have any questions for those who might be watching this on the east side, you want to know the date, stay tuned. We're looking for a March date right now that might be able to work for you all in the community so that we can do a lovely lunch and learn. It was great talking to you all, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.